So one of the things that was really eye-opening for us is we worked with a guy that we liked him. He was kind of fun, but he was just so cantankerous and he clearly hated life. And then he left, he went independent, and all of his clients went with him. I'm talking all of his clients went with him. And we ran into him like 6 months to 9 months later, and he was the happiest person on earth. The only the only thing that saved us is my business partner was just so sick and tired of working for the corporate culture that it forced us to branch out. Because at that time, I'd only worked in a bank. It's all I'd known for, from the time I got out of college, 13, close to 14 years. All my advisor friends were in the bank. That's all I knew. I could compare and contrast all the different bank programs. I didn't know independent advisors. When the light went on,
Yeah. And I feel like so much in this industry does a lot of what you just said. It's like, well, if we just attack the threat, we can keep them put.
yeah,
And
the
that,
the industry is built on half truths, misinformation, and just lack of transparency and really convoluted comp plans. So one of the things that was really eye opening for us is we worked with a guy that we liked him. He was kind of fun, but he was just so cantankerous and he clearly hated life. And, we're like, if there's one guy that we hear that doesn't wake up tomorrow morning, it's this guy. Like he's just in a bad place. And then he left, he went independent, and we inherited his book. We didn't call his people, but when they would call, our numbers were on the statements. And we'd say, yeah, if you want to get a hold of Joe, this is his cell phone number, still the best way to contact him. And all of his clients went with him. I'm talking all of his clients went with him. And we ran into him like 6 months to 9 months later, and he was the happiest person on earth. Like he went from someone that you wouldn't want to have shoelaces or a belt to literally being euphoric, singing show tunes as he danced around the lobby. It was a complete different personality. And he's just like, listen, guys, I removed all the things about the business that I hate. I'm no longer training branch employees that don't care. I'm no longer on conference calls every day. I'm no longer filling out pipeline reports. I come into work when I work. All I do is I take care of my clients. Sales assistant went with him. Like he was the happiest person on earth. He'll probably live 20 to 30 years longer because of the transition. And then we're like, wow, man, maybe there's something to that. I kind of liked some of the stuff to some degree that he hated. But then Jeff really pushed me. He's like, look at your calendar. How much time do you spend on conference calls? Did some analysis. I spent 20 hours a week on conference calls. It's crazy. Could 20 hours a week doing marketing activities, would that be better ROI? You know,
or just 20
or,
hours a week
or
with your family.
that was my next point. Yeah, with family, whatever. Spending that time with clients. I mean, there's a lot of better uses when you're running an advisory practice on how you can do that versus
Well, that's a
conference.
great answer. I'm glad you rolled with that. I didn't try to predict where you'd go with that question, but that was a terrific answer.
Well, I'm glad. I'm glad that um, I'm glad I hit a home run for you. So, how you affiliate early on with an advisor is so incredibly important. And the end game for almost everyone is independent channel of some sort. The quicker you get there, the easier your life gets. Because you can't do all the marketing stuff that we're talking about at most places. or you're severely, severely hamstrung. And if you're a young advisor, people need to hear your voice. There's an incredible amount of very, very good young advisors that are incredibly well spoken that can get clients across the spectrum. But if you're in a platform where you're not allowed to share your voice, you're only going to be viewed as the 26-year-old advisor. And that advisor might be the smartest guy in the whole shop. That might be the best thing that ever happened to you. But these young people have got to get as independent as quickly as possible. The longer you stay, the harder it can become to leave, the more shackled you can become to the entity through, RSUs and stock options and vesting programs and stuff like that. That's why some people will never leave Wells Fargo. Just get out as soon as you can, partner with somebody like you talked about as early as you can, and take off. It's
I'm
there.
telling you.
It's there for everybody.
And I think one of the things that's a challenge, and side note, Alana, this episode is a commercial for you, so feel free to clip this out and use it however you want. And Mike Gordon, you as well, right? This is the breakup commercial.
Shout out to all of our friends in California, right? Anybody else in California we're leaving out? Hey, Joe Marshall. We love Joe Marshall out there too. Not a recruiter,
That's
great advisor. Marketing's the only thing that matters for growth. The smartest guys don't necessarily have the biggest books of business, and they don't get to help the most people. The people who are the best marketers have the opportunity to help the most families. End of story. And sometimes you have really bad people who are really good at marketing, and the only way to fight back, if you're a good advisor who wants to help families, is to get really good at marketing. Or in a lot of cases, the bad guys win. They have less rules to follow, and they can do whatever they want with no recourse.
Yeah, I love that. Like you see a lot of advisors on the sidelines of the marketing saying, be careful of the snake oil salesman out there. But the problem is they don't have the oomph to get that message out.
Right. And they probably don't have the right institution to back them.
Right.